a team that haven't conceded in the league yet as well. How much of a help could that club connection be?
Yeah, I think it's always helpful when players play together or they're at the club together, because they know each other so much better, which is always the sort of not struggle, but you try and get that sort of club mentality, but it's hard when you don't see each other every day. But of course, if you're at the same club, if you know each other, if you're friends, it makes it much easier.
And with no Tom Lockyer, is there an injury behind that? What's the reason with
Yeah, Tom hurt his ankle, and we thought it would be okay, but unfortunately he's had I think he's had to have injections, which isn't too bad, but he just won't be fit in time to make the games.
No Ashley Williams as well. Is that how it's going to be with some players? They're in one squad, out the other. Is that how things are at the minute?
Well, I think it is, yeah. Obviously, with players who are playing, you just mentioned Meps and Joe Rodon coming back. Ethan did so well as well at that centre-half position in the last games. So we are okay in that position. And of course, you've got the likes of Ben Davis, Chris Gunter, who can play centre-half too.
Lots of options. And we've got another exciting young fullback coming in, Rhys Norrington Davis. How much has he impressed you recently?
Yeah, he has. He's someone who we've kept an eye on. Obviously, Paige has worked with him. He knows him well. He knows him as a lad. Speaks highly of him. I've seen him a couple of times. Watched him against Germany for the 21s, and then also recently played against United for Luton. So, yeah, he's a player I'm looking forward to, because, like I say, I've heard really good things about him. Not only his quality, but his character off Paige.
And just finally, 3 games in 6 days, challenging, exciting, and also a taste of hopefully what's to come next summer with the Euros. Will that help?
Yeah, I mean, it is challenging, obviously, playing so many games in a short space of time, but you can't complain. We want to have the players and see them as much as we can, so that this gives us a chance with these 3 games. And of course, with the added bonus now that we can use 5 substitutions, it makes it a lot easier.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Okay. Thanks, Dylan.
Hi, Ryan. Rob Phillips here.
Hi, Rob. You okay?
Hiya. Nice to see you. Just on Gareth, is it nice for you now that his situation is settled? I know he's not with the squad this week, but how happy are you that he is now settled and, in the words of his agent, at a place where he wants to be?
Yeah, I'm happy for Gareth, because he's obviously at a club that he knows well. He will be playing regularly. So yeah, I'm happy that Gareth is back at a club that he knows so well. And
when do you expect him to be able to play?
Yeah, not too long. I mean, it wasn't a big injury, and of course, Gareth always keeps himself fit, so he's able to come back as soon as the injury is right. So yeah, he'll be back pretty soon, I would imagine.
Was he pretty close on this one, or not really?
Yeah, he was, but I think with the circumstances, yeah, I think it was, with him going to a new club, I think we had to think seriously about, not only the short term, but the long term, get Gareth back fit, get him playing, and, look forward to seeing him in the Premier League.
And you've got Aaron Ramsey back, and he seems to have started the season really well, which must be brilliant for you.
Yeah, you just never know, obviously, when a new manager comes in, but, he played the full 90 minutes the first game, 70 minutes the second game. And, yeah, so he'll be coming to us fit with minutes on in his body. So, yeah, I mean, it's great to have Aaron back. I've said before, what quality Aaron possesses, and very often in the games he can be the difference, which obviously he's shown the last time he was with us.
No, Chris Gunder's in, but he doesn't have a club. How much, is there any sentimentality in that selection, and how long can that go on for, Ryan?
No, I mean, Chris, the last camp looked really good. He keeps himself fit. He's obviously great around the place, and someone who we can draw his experience on at any time. And yeah, I think Chris obviously knows the way that I work. So no, I don't. It's not. It's not sentiment. It's the qualities that Chris possesses.
And just a couple of other things. One, you will have seen, no doubt, that there's a war going on in Azerbaijan at the moment. They're at war with Armenia. Yet another sort of thing to throw in ahead of the Euros next year. I mean, what concerns do you have on that?
No, I think the world that we live in at the moment, obviously with COVID, things change daily. So I think we have to just assess everything regarding the Euros the closer we get to it. And you have to be prepared for change, and you have to be flexible. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really thinking about that at the moment. I'm sure, obviously, turn of the year, my thoughts will be going more towards the Euros. Obviously, we've got these games, the Nations League before that. And
just finally for me, Ryan, a huge story for Welsh football. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney look like they're going to take over Wrexham. You know all about investing in a small club, or not a small club, but a club in the lower reaches to come forward. Do you have any advice for Deadpool himself on the pitfalls of investing in a club like that? And what will it mean to Welsh football?
No, I had seen that. Obviously, it would be great if obviously they can support Wrexham and give them potentially the finances that will help them. Yeah, I mean it's a roller coaster of a ride when you do own a club. There's plenty of highs, plenty of lows, and yeah, be prepared for a roller coaster of a ride. But obviously, speaking from experience, it's been great. It's been really good at what we had for promotions. So yeah, if they can manage that, then obviously they would be doing something right.
Superheroes should be used to that, though, shouldn't they?
I wouldn't know, Rob.
Thanks, Ryan. Cheers.
Okay, cheers. Thanks.
Hi, Ryan. Lawrence here.
Hi, Lawrence.
Ryan, just asking you about the conversations that you may well have had with different managers over this period. So obviously, Aaron missed out, and Tyler Roberts, and Joe Rodon was coming back to fitness as well. And then you've got Gareth missing this time. Have you been in constant conversation with managers and players over this period?
Yeah, between us as staff, we're in constant communication with the medical teams, with the players, with the clubs, with the managers. So yeah, where there's a conversation to be had, we have them. Otherwise, we just hopefully the managers trust me that I'm going to look after the players, and I trust the managers as well, where they're going to make the right decisions regarding the players. But I mean, obviously, I want all the players that are available to me. Sometimes, with circumstances, players coming back from injury, players who've played a lot of games, then you have to be flexible.
Have they been hard conversations to have?
Not really. You just got to be as sensible as possible. I mean, you can't always obviously guarantee players regarding injuries, because anything can happen in football. But you have to be sensible regarding players who have played a lot of games, looking after their load. And then also players coming back from injury, making sure that, you don't expose them to situations where, they're back to square one.
I've seen some of your younger players going out and getting loans. Brennan, I think, has gone to Lincoln, and obviously Dylan Levitt has now moved to Charlton as well. Were you happy to see those kind of moves come into place?
Yeah, again, it just depends how the move goes. I've seen moves that players have really thrived and they're playing regularly, others where they don't perhaps get so many games. So yeah, it's up to them to take the opportunity when they're given the chance. And yeah, so loan moves can always be a roller coaster of a ride. Sometimes they don't get the games that they thought they might do. So that's why it's important to make sure that you try and pick the right club.
And given those loan moves, does it show the importance of the English structure of football in the lower leagues for the Premier League?
Yeah, I think, it's always important that you can get players games, especially at that young age. That age between 18 and 21, where especially the players at big clubs where they're perhaps not going to get the minutes that they need, because at that age you need to play. And that's, again, why I go back to making sure that you pick the right club, the philosophy of your club, the manager, that you are going to get the minutes that you need at that age.
And just on one player who's not getting particularly much minutes, Dan James at United wasn't in the matchday squad last weekend. Yeah. What does the future hold for him at Old Trafford at the moment?
I'm not too sure. I mean, all I can say is fantastic in our last camp. The 2 games, he was, considering that he hadn't played for so long, looked really sharp, looked really fit. And I'm delighted with Dan. He was brilliant in our camp, really sharp in training, and his attitude, he's always the same. He's a pleasure to work with.
Just finally for me, I think we saw Nico deleting his Twitter account, or blacking out his Twitter account last week after getting some stick online and what have you. As a young player coming into the game, how do you deal with that pressure? And I guess that's a big learning curve that Nico's got to go through, and those young players have got to go through.
Yeah, it's not something I had to deal with as a player. Obviously, with social media wasn't around then. It's just part and parcel of not only football but life at the moment. So yeah, I mean, Nico's got he's got a sensible head on his shoulders. He's at a fantastic club with a brilliant manager. So you've got to surround yourself with the right people, which I know Nico has got, and all he's got to do is just knuckle down and just keep improving as a young player, because he is still a young player, he's still learning, but what a talent. And I'm looking forward to meeting us up again, because he was a delight to work with again, just like all the players in the last camp.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thanks, Lawrence.
Okay, cool. We'll stop that there, and then